D-Day, the Angel of Death, and SpaceX are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is June 6, 2025. It is the 157th day of the year. You got 208 days left. It is the 23rd Friday in the 23rd week and the 79th day of spring. You got 2 weeks till summer. Today is National Donut Day. Get some donuts, everyone. You might need them. I think we're going to have a cold winter. You might as well start fattening up right now. All right, let's see what else June 6 has given us. 913, Constantine VII, the 8-year-old illegitimate son of Leo the Wise, becomes the nominal ruler of the Byzantine Empire, under the regency of a 7-man council appointed by Constantine's uncle, Alexander, on his deathbed. Yeah, we went way back for that one. 1813, the Battle of Stony Creek. Considered a critical turning point in the War of 1812, a British force of around 700 under John Vincent defeat an American force twice its size under William Winder and John Chandler. 1934, the New Deal. FDR signs the Securities Exchange Act, which brings on the SEC. On June 6, 1934, in the middle of the Great Depression and the chaos it brought to Wall Street, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 into law. This was a major piece of his New Deal legislation, and it wasn't just about paperwork. It fundamentally changed how the U.S. stock market operated. The act created the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, which became the watchdog for the nation's financial markets. Before this, Wall Street was a bit like the Wild West. Insider trading was common, companies could lie on their financial reports, and the average investor was left in the dark. In 1929, the stock market crash had exposed just how unregulated and risky things were, and Americans had lost billions as a result. With the SEC now in place, the goal was to restore public confidence. Companies were now required to provide accurate financial disclosures. The SEC could investigate shady deals, regulate stock exchanges, and enforce laws against fraud and manipulation. Basically, it told Wall Street, play fair or else. This act, paired with the earlier Securities Act of 1933, which tackled new stock offerings, marked a turning point in financial regulation. It helped stabilize the markets and gave Americans hope that the system wouldn't be rigged against them anymore. Nearly a century later, the SEC still plays a crucial role in keeping the financial markets transparent and mostly honest. Mostly gets some air quotes. So, while it may not sound flashy, the signing of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 was one of the biggest moves towards accountability in American capitalism, and a key part of FDR's mission to clean up the economic mess of the early 1930s. (1944), the Allied invasion of Normandy. With the execution of Operation Neptune, commonly referred to as D-Day, the largest seaborne invasion in history happens. Nearly 160,000 Allied troops crossed the English Channel. By the end of the day, Allies had landed on 5 invasion beaches and were pushing inland. Now, this could be the deep dive. I mean, it has been in years past. Very important part of our history. But we did it a couple of years ago, and I think the first year we did this, so we'll bring it back up in a year or so and look at some other angles. 1985, the grave of Wolfgang Gerhardt is opened in Brazil to exhume remains later proven to be those of Joseph Mengele, Auschwitz's Angel of Death. Mengele is thought to have drowned while swimming in February of 1979. 2024, the launch of SpaceX Starship Integrated Flight Test 4, or IFT-4. This is one of Elon Musk's big thing. He wants to populate Mars. And of course, he's been in the news all this year for all kinds of fun stuff. Movies released on June 6, 2003, we got Too Fast, Too Furious. Obviously, this is like the sequel or in the series of the Fast and Furious franchise. The film grossed over $236 million worldwide. Now, if this is your type of movie, you already know, but I'm not a big fan, but I know that this is one of the most successful franchises in Hollywood, probably in the last 30 years. To date, there are 14 Fast and Furious movies. Sadly, Paul Welker, one of the stars, died in an accident, not on the movie, just on his personal time, but the franchise went on without him. Interesting piece of trivia, the first car that Paul Walker drives in the film was his own personal race car. The filming for the movie took place in Florida. Died on June 6th. 1968, Robert F. Kennedy, American soldier, lawyer, and politician, the 64th Attorney General of the United States. '68 was just a horrible year. He was assassinated, and then you had Martin Luther King, you had the Orangeburg Massacre, which everyone remembers Kent State. But there was another one in 1968, in February, called the Orangeburg Massacre. It was the shooting of student protesters on the campus of South Carolina State University in Orangeburg, South Carolina. 9 highway patrolmen and 1 city police officer opened fire on the crowd of African American students, killing 3 and injuring 28. The law enforcement claimed they had been shot at, but 36 witnesses said they didn't hear anyone shoot till the police started shooting. They were all acquitted. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.